Welcome, friends. Episode 34 of the Nope Coach podcast. Some days it's trash. I'm your host, Suzanne Culberg. And the thing I think holds many of us up from lasting change, true transformation, is that we hold ourselves back due to procrastination. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it Monday. I'll do it next time. And I think a lot of us, we let ourselves off the hook with the procrastination because it's, I'm totally going to do the thing. I'm going to join that program. I'm going to read that book. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to start their business just tomorrow or Monday or next week. And it never comes. And I think the way out of that, well, I know for myself, the way out of that loop of I'll do it next time is that realizing some days it's trash. And because the procrastination marries with the perfectionism. It's like, I can't do it unless I do it perfectly, so then I'll do it tomorrow. And we kind of let ourselves off the hook because we're still fully intending to do the thing. But I invite you to consider, where is something in your life that you've kept meaning to do it? Whether it be a book that you bought however long ago and is sitting gathering dust on your shelf, or a course that you bought that was a home study, evergreen, whichever term you use, that's gathering digital dust on your hard drive, and you know it's there, and you're going to get to it. You're going to do it later. An example, a personal example, I've only recently become active on Instagram. You have a look. If you have a look, I've had an account for a number of years, but I'm more of a Facebook girl. I just prefer the platform. Do you know how many get started with Instagram, learn how to do Instagram, crack the Instagram algorithm courses I have bought or downloaded or whatever? Like, it's not pretty. And how many of them I've actually sat down and worked my way through? The reason I teach Why Wait, my signature program, live is because I personally participate in programs so much better if they are live. Left to my own devices, for something that is evergreen or home study or do it your own time, it sits there, evergreen, home study, or do it your own time. Live attendance, the call is on at this time, the ability to ask for coaching, to get my questions answered is pure gold, which is why I run my programs this way. So leading this back to, some days it's trash. What is something that you want to do? So for me, my own podcast, I've spoken before, if this is not the first time you're listening to this show, I wanted my own podcast for many years, and I was always going to do it next month, next quarter, next year. And it's a steep learning curve in the beginning. It's like, what do I do once I record it? How do I upload it? How do I get people to listen to it? And so on and so forth. It all seemed really hard. And in the beginning of this program, when I committed this podcast, I should say, to doing it daily, there was a lot of pressure there because, like, what if the episodes aren't great? But look, some of the episodes are going to be trash. And I don't mean that I don't try. I don't mean that as in I just don't care. But that also leads to the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure, or one person's trash is another person's treasure. Because I may record something and think, oh, it wasn't that good. But someone else might listen to it and go, that was fabulous. That's exactly what I needed to hear today. Like, how often have you made an offhand comment to someone and they've said, thank you. That's exactly what I needed to hear today. So what may be trash to you may be treasure to someone else, and vice versa. Like, I can't count the number of times I have recorded something or made a post or been like, this is amazing. This is like the truth of the universe. This is like the best thing I have ever written or recorded. And then there's been crickets. And then other times it's just been like, because of my commitment to the way that I show up or produce or I put something out there. And I think, it wasn't my best work, but it's okay. And it has gone gangbusters. So in whatever it is that you're wanting to create or do for yourself, the commitment to show up, the commitment to persistently take action, the commitment to chip away at the project, to do the trash work, is going to bring you to a long-term result much faster than I'll do it next time, I'll do it later. I'm thinking another example that comes to mind is songwriters, singers. Often they will have a hit or a couple of hits that they are known for. And then if you look into their profile, if you look them up, they may have hundreds of songs, but you only know a handful at most. Or authors, you'll see this author who has a breakout book and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever read. And then you look at them and they've got 50 books already written, but it's just the one or two that they get known for. The way that they get known is by being prolific. Prolific and procrastination, perfectionism, are 3 Ps that cannot hang out together, because the procrastination of I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next time, I'll do it next year, and the perfectionism of I can't put this out because it's not exactly right, mean that nothing gets done, nothing gets produced. It's the opposite of prolific, drought. So all this to say, I really encourage you, whatever it is that you're doing. The last thing I'll leave you with before I wrap this up is there's an image that I saw online and I use in the Why Wait program, and it's called Showing Up Daily. And it's a bunch of circles. So there's 7 circles for the 7 days of the week. And it's like what I think showing up daily means. And all 7 circles are completely filled up. Like I need to show up perfectly. I need to do it exactly right. I need to do it like this. And then the second image underneath is what showing up daily actually means. And some of the circles are full and some of them have like the very minimum bottom. Some of the circles are half filled. Some of the circles are a third filled. So by embracing the someday it's trash principle in whatever it is you're creating in your life, it's if you only have 20% to give on that day and you show up and give that, that is your full potential for that day. That is 100% of that day. It doesn't mean you can't take action on that day because your drawer isn't full of spoons. It means on that day you gave all that you had to give, and your thing is to let that be enough. Some days it's trash, but your best on that trash day is the best that you had, and that body of work and that prolific contribution to you and your transformation and whatever it is that you're trying to create, is going to have such a knock-on lasting effect. So thank you for tuning into the show. I really highly encourage you to leave a rating and review. If you don't know how to do that because you're not using Apple, I gather that you can only do a review on Apple from what I've heard. Head over to my YouTube. So if you go to my website, suzanneculberg.com, click on the podcast. There'll be a link there to the podcast on YouTube if you're listening to this. Find this episode and leave me a comment, or whichever episode you've listened to. What have you enjoyed about the episode? What was your takeaway? That would be so beneficial for me, because how does a show get found by more people? People sharing it. The other thing you could do is you could share an episode on socials. If you like, you could tag me, Suzanne Culberg, on either Instagram or Facebook, but share the episode or comment on the YouTube or like the video. That really, really helps me to get found by other people and to get the word out there. And I so appreciate that. So thank you so much. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.